Greetings, friends. Prepare for another thrilling journey as we delve into Reddit's most bizarre tales. We're plunging deep into the quirkiest corners of the web. Grab your popcorn and join us on this adventure. Remember to hit subscribe and like. Let's begin. I never imagined I'd be the type of person to go through my wife's phone. It wasn't something I ever thought I'd need to do. Emily and I were supposed to be unbreakable, the couple everyone admired. We got married young. I was 24, she was just 23. But we were confident in what we wanted, or at least I thought we were. Over the last few months, though, Emily started to change. She spent more time on her phone, laughing at things I wasn't part of. She began working late more often, going out for drinks with the girls, but something about it felt off. I tried to ignore it, to push aside that gnawing feeling in my gut, but it just wouldn't go away. Deep down, I knew something was wrong. One night, as she slept beside me, I couldn't take it anymore. Her phone sat on the nightstand, and the urge to know the truth hit me hard. I had her passcode. She never changed it, likely never thought I'd need to check. My hands shook as I picked up her phone, my heart pounding in my chest. I knew I shouldn't be doing this. I knew that once I opened this door, there was no turning back. But I couldn't stop myself. When I unlocked her phone, it took less than a minute to find what I had been dreading. The messages were right there, staring back at me like a cruel joke. The name Daniel jumped out at me and my stomach dropped. I opened the conversation and my world crumbled. Photos, videos, texts that made me sick to my core. Emily had been seeing him for months. They weren't just talking, they were meeting up. The messages detailed their next rendezvous, intimate exchanges where she used the same words she once said to me. There was even a video of them together, laughing, smiling, as if they were living some twisted version of the marriage I thought we had. At first, I couldn't even feel anger, just numbness. The betrayal was like a knife to the heart, deeper than anything I had ever felt. For days, I sat with that knowledge, pretending everything was normal. I needed time to think, to plan. Emily had no idea what I knew, and I wanted to keep it that way, at least for a while. I wasn't going to confront her in a moment of rage and give her an easy way out. I wanted her to feel the full weight of what she'd done. She needed to understand that the life we built together, the future we planned, was in ruins, and it was all her fault. I decided the confrontation would happen in front of our families. I wanted everyone to see her for who she truly was. My mom, Maria, and my sister Chloe had always adored Emily like their own, and I felt they deserved to know the truth. Her parents, Deborah and Tom, had always been proud of their perfect daughter, but they were about to see the reality. The night our families came over for dinner, I knew the time had come. The atmosphere was tense, the air thick with anticipation. Emily was laughing, chatting with our parents, acting as if nothing was wrong, as if she hadn't shattered our marriage behind my back. "I know about Daniel," I said loud enough for everyone to hear. The room went silent. Emily froze, her face drained of color as everyone turned to her. "What?" she stammered, trying to play dumb, but I wasn't having it. I pulled out my phone and showed everyone the evidence, screenshots, messages, everything. I watched the betrayal ripple through the room, watched as it sunk in for my family and her parents what she had done. Deborah broke down in tears, a mix of anger and sorrow, while Tom sat there, stunned into silence. My mom's eyes filled with tears for me, and Chloe looked like she was ready to throw Emily out of the house herself. Emily tried to speak, to explain, but there was nothing left to say. She ran out in tears, leaving the rest of us to pick up the pieces of the life she had destroyed. I wanted her to feel every ounce of the pain I had felt, that night when I discovered the truth, and every day that followed. But I wasn't going to yell or argue. No, my plan was more calculated. I wanted to ensure she'd never forget the consequences of her betrayal. The first step was legal. I filed for divorce and made sure my lawyer had every single detail of her affair. We gathered all the evidence, texts, photos, everything, so that when we stepped into the courtroom, Emily wouldn't stand a chance. I wanted the house, and I was determined to see her lose everything. But my revenge didn't stop with the divorce. I started talking to her friends, casually dropping hints about her infidelity. I wanted them to see the real Emily. Claire, her best friend, was stunned when I told her about Daniel. She couldn't believe Emily had cheated. Slowly but surely, her friends began to distance themselves from her. Bit by bit, Emily's social circle unraveled. And then I discovered the final blow. Daniel, the man she had thrown me away for, was cheating on her too. He had been seeing other women while stringing Emily along. I didn't say anything at first. I simply watched from the sidelines as her world collapsed. She thought she had found someone better, but in the end, she was just another pawn in his game. The irony was almost too perfect. Years passed, and my life took an unexpected turn. I met Sophie when I wasn't even searching for a new relationship. She was 27, a graphic designer with a laugh that made all the past pain fade away. Sophie was nothing like Emily. She was genuine, honest, and most importantly, she loved me for who I was. We took our time, but eventually, we built a life together. We moved into the house that I had fought so hard to keep. It felt different now, a place of new beginnings, no longer haunted by the memories of Emily. Sophie and I would spend hours talking about our future, dreaming about the life we wanted to create. For the first time in years, I felt like I had reclaimed my future. Meanwhile, Emily's life had unraveled. After Daniel left her, she found herself alone. Her friends had drifted away, her family barely spoke to her, and she moved into a tiny apartment with nothing to her name. She tried reaching out to me, begging for forgiveness, but it was pathetic. I had nothing left to give her. Each attempt she made to win me back only served as a reminder of how far I had come and how much she had lost. The day our divorce was finalized, I felt an enormous weight lift off my shoulders. Emily lost everything: the house, her reputation, her future. I walked away with it all. But it wasn't just about material things. It was about rising from the ashes of what she had destroyed. Emily tried to move on, but she was stuck in the wreckage of her own making. Her family only saw her on holidays out of obligation. Her friends, they were long gone. She lived with the crushing reality that her choices had cost her everything, and there was no way to undo it. I moved on. Sophie and I began planning trips and discussing starting a family. I found peace, something I never thought I'd experience again after all that had happened. In the end, my revenge wasn't just about tearing down Emily's life. It was about rebuilding my own. And I succeeded.